So AH is terrified that her own lawyers have betrayed or will betray her. Why? Because she threw some under the bus. Others, they've eaten each other behind the scenes. She's afraid that they've turned on her already, and if they haven't, they will turn on her soon. I mean, this is crazier and crazier still is the media. They're writing about it now. That's right. They're calling this AH's next legal nightmare. I mean, look at that description. A legal nightmare. I never thought I would hear that descriptor either, where they tell you at the center of the $15 million dispute over who's going to pay the bills is a secret power struggle amongst some of the country's most elite lawyers over who actually represented her anyway. We know that this is getting to AH too. How do we know? Because her own lawyers admitted to it when they begged the insurers to stop suing. Why? Because she's stressed out. She can't handle the appeals. Yeah, you and I, we're going to talk about that and much, much more today too. Crazy times, huh? Crazy times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. Saying things are going bad for AH, I mean, that is the understatement of this century. And you know, really, I don't blame her for being afraid of her lawyers and what they might say. I mean, she has left many a lawyer on the wayside. I mean, she has treated them badly from what we've seen in documents. I mean, she would drop them any time there was a problem, blame them for so much more. I mean, you saw how she treated Elaine. Now that they have a chance to talk about what went on, yeah. Now, what's astounding about this is the media, they're not only covering this story, but they're not sugarcoating it or glossing over the fact that AH, she's in trouble and big time here. Again, she's squaring off against her insurer. She's already lost to JD, and she has her lawyers sounding off for what she allowed behind the scenes or that she was involved in. Yeah, that's not going to be good at all. Now, what's truly interesting about this, like I was saying before, is that AH has admitted through her own lawyers that this is a huge problem for her, to the point that they filed about it in the insurance lawsuits. Again, you have one insurer suing another about bills, an insurer is coming back suing that one and suing her, and she's begging them to stop. And you have to wonder, is that this because of the appeal, because she mentions this here, or is this because she fears what's going to come out in the court of public opinion when it comes to her own lawyers? I mean, she mentions here, I haven't been served, so, since I'm not served, I don't really need this going on. AH is actively pursuing her appellate remedies in the JD lawsuit. Your actions are forcing her to litigate on multiple fronts and increasing the stress upon her. This is not an appropriate way for insurers to treat their insured. She also does not know what has transpired to date in the Travelers lawsuit, including what discovery may have been conducted. That would be talking to lawyers, finding out about things that have gone on behind the scenes and more, which we will have access to. I mean, we've had access to quite a few things so far because of this, although she is aware that certain discovery is being directed against lawyers. So, yeah, her lawyers, they're the ones that are being asked to speak. They're the ones that are being asked what went on behind the scenes, and that have represented her, which may itself be prejudicial. She's saying, oh man, I don't want this stuff to come out. Now, the media writing about this showcases to the world the implosion of AH's team. Again, insurers suing insurers, insurers suing her, lawyers that you heard removed. Yeah, those people, they may not have been dropped off in the course of business. Nope, there was stuff going on behind the scenes. Nastiness to the point people were being undermined. She was part of it, potentially. And they're telling you, yeah, you may get to hear about all of that. I mean, listen to this right here. Of course, there was more to the story behind all of those pretrial shakeups, which may soon become public thanks to a secondary legal drama between two insurance companies that have been secretly fighting over AH's sizable legal bill. After all, many forms of homeowners insurance will cover certain legal expenses, but only up to a certain point. And AH's expenses, they were truly astronomical, surpassing $8 million before the 6-week trial even began. And the reason they were that high, by the way, is that she felt she had been given a blank check. You could see it from her behavior. She would file over and over again. She would do anything to tie up JD's team. Basically, she wasn't paying and she knew it. Yeah, the insurance companies, they're not happy about that now, especially since she lost. She has also brought on 2 more top lawyers to handle with her bill. It continues, this could easily become a $15 million bill of horrors when all is said and done, potentially dwarfing the $10 million that she's already on the hook for because of the decision with JD. I mean, think about that. She has $10 million here, $15 million potentially on this side. Lawyers, they're having fingers pointed at them in this. What do you think those lawyers are going to do? Well, they're going to point the finger back, and they're going to point it squarely at the person they would blame, I would imagine, which would be AH. I mean, when you think about some of the names that are being brought up, think about Elaine, for example. Elaine, for anything that she did in the courtroom, she was the biggest advocate when it came to AH before the trial and after the trial. She went out, she did all the damage control that she could do. What happened? AH threw her under the bus. She did it publicly. She essentially blamed her for the loss. You know that Elaine's reputation, it won't survive that. So of course, you know that she would probably want to get even, especially since she's being brought up in the nastiness as someone that is potentially being blamed. You also have other people that could potentially speak up too. People like Eric George. Fascinating thing about Eric George, he's actually spoken up in the past. I mean, he was subpoenaed by JD's team, and he decided when he was that he would spill all the tea. I'm sure that shocked AH too. That's when we found out about co-conspirator organizations. We found out about the mainstream media, about letters, about Aquaman, about billionaires paying millions and more. Imagine what he wasn't willing to tell then and what he might be willing to tell now. You also have disgraced lawyers like Roberta Kaplan, ones that recently made the media because they had been doing things behind the scenes that were nasty. Well, this would allow them to potentially change the script or the narrative. If they got involved, they might welcome that. Like I said, imagine being AH, seeing all of this stuff, seeing the media talk about it. Oh, I mean, it's so beautiful. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And as always, I thank you for checking this out. You're appreciated here. Share this too if you would. I'd appreciate that as well. You want to help out the channel? Check out the links in the description too. But you being here, that is the biggest help of all. Thank you. Appreciate you. And in here, thank you again. See you soon.